happening at the KICC. Today marks the second day of the AFWA conference, which kicked off yesterday, where President Uhuru Kenyatta did officially open that particular conference. And we want now to speak to the the Principal Secretary in charge of water, the Ministry of Water and Irrigation, Professor SOR. Good afternoon. Day 2 of the conference. What so far are we likely to get out of this conference, bearing in mind that Kenya is trying to push the agenda to increase access to water?
Yeah, thank you very much. Indeed, the conference started yesterday, and it is going to take 4 days up to Thursday. The theme of the conference is sustainable water and sanitation in Africa. Mm-hmm. And the conference has taken off very well. Among the issues which are being discussed is investment in the infrastructure in the water and sanitation sector. Mm-hmm. Also in terms of accessibility, in terms of the kind of the partners who are participating in provision of water in Africa, the private sector, water utilities, governments and research institutions. The purpose being bringing minds together so that they discuss issues affecting water and what we can do so that we can access water and sanitation for all by 2030 as expected by the Social Development Goal number 6.
Professor, the other area of concern has been the amount that has been allocated to the water sector. Over the years, we've not seen substantial improvements compared to other economies across Africa. Are we likely to see finally the government being able to address this issue around increasing the access, actually increasing the funding to the water sector, and how soon and what amount are we talking about?
Currently, the government has been budgeting close to 40 billion Kenya shillings from the government and development partners. This kind of investment, of course, is not sufficient if we have to attain water and sanitation for all by 2030. In fact, the kind of figures we expect to put in investments for the next 15 years averages 100 billion Kenya shillings consistently for the 15 years, so that we are able to achieve the target which is expected in the Social Development Goal. Mm-hmm. Below the expected budget lines in terms of investment, and that is why this conference is bringing people of like mind so that they discuss on how to fund and carry out investment in the sector.
We've actually raised an important issue, Professor, around funding of water projects. We've seen a number of initiatives trying to get different funding models that could actually make it less of a burden when it comes to funding water projects. As we speak, we are yet to finalize on a number of dam projects that Kenya needs to have actually have them in place. And all these projects are geared towards improving agriculture in some of these counties we are talking about. And looking at the funding models, what are we likely to get out of this conference when it comes to agreeing on a particular model that could actually see a lot of investments coming through to the water sector, as we have seen in the energy sector?
Kenya as a country is embracing strongly private-public partnership. And it is through this means that we are going to look at one of the ways of solving and improving the infrastructure development of water and sanitation in the country. Number 2, apart from the traditional investments where we've been depending on development partners, we are looking at the possibilities of also attracting in big amounts the private sector so that they are able to invest in the sector and thereafter earn their returns. Water, as you know, is a social and economic activity. The provision of water is not free. The users pay for the water they consume, and therefore investments, when it is put in the correct way, an investor is able to get returns after some time. And therefore, in this conference and congress, we expect the participants to discuss on the best funding models. This is one of the discussions which will take place today and tomorrow, where the participants, the private sector, the water utilities will be looking at the new and innovative ways of funding water and sanitation in Africa.
Many thanks there, Professor Fred Sigor, who is the Principal Secretary in charge of water at the Ministry of Water and Irrigation, giving us the latest perspectives when it comes to the ongoing AFWA conference that is actually underway at the KICC. And through the week, we'll keep you posted on some of the key recommendations that will come out of that particular conference. And as you know, every Tuesday we do Speak Matters